الله عليه وسلم. اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام.
You've arrived at your destination. You're listening to Career Compass on Radio Al-Ansar.
And I stay faithful. I learn my lessons all through you, the final prophet. He led the way, so we stay true. I give my all and everything. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. He was respected, the most trustworthy of us all.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramzani.
But we try our best and give our all. I give my all and everything. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad.
Saturday, the 9th of November. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Exactly 11 minutes past 9 o'clock. Welcome right into it. It is Career Campus with me, Kelly Ramzani, every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. where we talk about all things career related. Now, for the past 3 weeks, we've developed a mental health awareness campaign, sort of, where we talk about stresses that lead to mental health and how to overcome it. We've also included a special segment for the matriculants, and we do advice on how to pick a career or advice to the matrics from previous or former matriculants. And so much of the great stuff. Yeah. But normally, if you are new here, we welcome you. Normally, we talk about all things career related, from career development, self-development to careers that are growing with the rapid rise of technology, as well as those that are falling off behind. We talk about side hustles. We talk about soft skills needed in any and every workplace, and so much more. Now, for today, we will be talking about the one thing that many people do not know how to open up, how to talk about, because when we go through stress or mental illnesses, we look at what society will say, what is the stigma, but more importantly, the people within our household. What is one to do if you are going through depression, yet you are the only breadwinner in the household? What are you going to do? Can you just walk out because you have to prioritize your mental health? Or can you just stick it through because you've got people that rely on you? What is the way forward? We will be discussing that for today. And we welcome you to join the discussion by sharing your thoughts with us on 0609041056. I'll not be alone in studio. Right now, I do have Asif on my right. He's the tech on duty, and soon I'll be joined by a lovely couple, and they will be discussing the topic that we have for today. And by the way, these are presenters, okay? They're no stranger to the airwaves. You might want to take a guess. You might want to take a guess. It's probably your favorite show as well. Another hint, it's on Saturday. Okay, right after me. There you have it. There you have it. So do take a guess. Send in those thoughts on 060-904-1056. Your Saturday mornings are about to get better.
Heart is turned away. Feels emptiness inside. Never ending rain keeps falling from the sky. On turner of hearts, keep me on a straight path. Don't ask anything to let me walk away. Keep my heart close to you. I need you every day. When I'm lost, can you help find my way? Oh, my, miss me again. Oh, joy. Oh, my, in me as I look again. Oh, you're the most that we praise all the time. So many sides, but yet my heart was blind. You're the one there is no other way. Oh, that's when keep me on a straight path. Don't ask anything to let me walk away. Keep my heart close to you. I need you every day. Lost, can you help find my way? Oh, my, it's me again. Oh, joy. Oh, my, in me as I look again. Yeah, you too. It's trying to find you. Forgive me, my love, please guide me back. I need you to guide me back. Oh, yeah, you took my heart. It's trying to find you. Forgive me, my love, please guide me back. I need you to guide me back. Oh, it's me again. Oh, joy. Oh, in me as I look again.
And that is Nadeem Muhammad, the turner of hearts. We turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we ask Him to ease all our pains, not those pains that we talk about, those that we don't talk about, to turn our hearts towards goodness and to steady fast our iman. All right. So I see your messages, which I will definitely read in a second. I really appreciate you taking your time to send those messages. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. 060-904-1056. I'm just going to quickly brush through the advice for the week for the metrics and also some of the careers that are in demand locally and globally, as well as soft skills that are needed in any and every workplace before we unpack the discussion that we have for you today, which is how to deal with mental health as a breadwinner. So for the advice for the metrics, all right. I think we've spoken about everything. I think we've spoken about passion, we've spoken about self-assessment, we've spoken about analyzing the market or your job. How long is it going to be in demand if there's growth? We've spoken about you being prepared to work outside of South Africa, and that is our reality right now. Okay. Inshallah, things will get better in the country. And many friends that I have abroad tell me, you guys are lucky. What are you talking about? You guys are way lucky. You have it easy. You know, the text, the site is killing us and stuff like that. But we are here and we think they are lucky. So I don't know if it's a human thing or because we haven't experienced what they're going through, or we not in the same proximity, then we feel that the next person is always better than us. I don't know. I don't know. But all I know is growth is part of the human life. And if you wish to grow and you believe that there is bigger and better opportunities outside of South Africa, go for it. I support you. Go for it. So, advice for the matrix this week. It all boils down to you. We spoke about taking a gap year if you're not sure, but also even if you are sure, just to get a insight, a clearer insight of what the world is about. Because when you're wearing uniform, it's very different to when you get out of uniform. Because now nobody's chasing you around, asking you to get your work done. You have to do it yourself. And when you go to varsity, there's this overwhelming amount of freedom. You get to decide what you're going to do with that. And for some people, like I said, it's overwhelming. It overpowers them, you know. So all these are the realities and changes that you will face. It all boils down to you. I've spoken about being open-minded. I've spoken about being curious. I've spoken about every single thing, but it all boils down to you. And that's the advice for the week. It boils down to you. What do you want? Will you carry out all this advice that I give out every week? What are you going to do? Of course, you cannot do it alone. And I don't encourage any young person to enter the world thinking they're all alone. You've got your parents, you've got your siblings, you've got your friends, you've got the community, you've got people that you can turn to and speak out if you feel that I'm not coping or I don't know what to do, I don't know how to handle this. Okay. Do not feel that you are alone, because we do feel that sometimes you're like, oh, my parents can't relate to this. They're so outdated and old fashioned. Yeah, but they could help you with an advice or two. You'd be so surprised that they've experienced what you're going through. So speak out and seek help through patience and prayer, you know. But at the end of the day, I just want to remind you that it boils down to you. If you studied for exam, if you did not study for exam, it boils down to you. If you want to go further with education, if you don't want to go further with education, it boils down to you. I am very aware there are external circumstances that are beyond us that contribute to the decisions we make in life. I'm not talking about that. Okay. I'm talking about your ability, what's within your control. It boils down to you. That's the advice we have for this week. Up next, we will be talking about degrees that are in demand locally and globally. This is Career Campus every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. with me, Kelly Ramzani. You are in safe hands.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
Hey, don't you hate it when your cake or icing just doesn't come out right?
Oh, all the time. It's so frustrating.
Well, have you tried Wooden Spoon? It's a margarine specifically made for baking, and it creates perfect icing as well, every time.
Really? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, not only that, it's by the South African Cake Decorators Guild. And you know what else? When I use Wooden Spoon, it makes me feel like I'm baking with the pros.
This cake is amazing. What's the secret ingredient?
Wooden Spoon margarine, my friend. It's the magic to perfect baking every time.
Yellow and Sour Helping Hands with Aisha Jamal brings you the Animal Welfare Campaign. Help us make a difference.
Hey, little
Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, verily, there is heavenly reward for every act of kindness done to a living animal. We are in need of cat food, dog food, blankets, shelter, weatherproof kennels, and funds towards the above, as well as towards urgent cases where animals require medical attention. WhatsApp 060-971-9955 or 084-3041-683. Drop-off zone 207 West Road, Overport. Yedl Ansar, making a difference.
This and only this is Nightline. Nightline is the only program that allows you to listen to the opportunity to voice your opinion on any matter or any topic that concerns you.
وانتشت روحي وصفت.
Also on Nightline, we interview the famous, the not so famous, and infamous. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Brother Muhammad Varyawa, and with me in the studio is Dr. Anwar Jiwa. Join us every Saturday night from 8:30 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. on Nightline, the program designed especially for you, the listener.
Are you or a loved one battling the disease of addiction? Is your family, life, relationships, work suffering due to alcoholism and substance abuse? Zensai Treatment, Recovery and Wellness Center are addiction specialists offering specialized psychotherapy and naltrexone therapy to help overcome addiction. Zensai offers hotel-style facilities to allow your loved ones to regain their dignity and overcome alcoholism and drug abuse in the most comfortable setting possible. Fight addiction. Call Zensai Treatment, Recovery and Wellness Center, the addiction recovery specialist on 031 563 0751.
They convince the world to believe that terrorists look like beards and thobes. Now, as the facade cracks, one martyr after another, the world sees through the broken windows and now knows the true face of terrorism. It wears suits and ties and smiles behind lies.
اللهم احفظ المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الحاقدين. اللهم أعد المسجد الأقصى إلى رحاب المسلمين. اللهم وطهر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين. اللهم عليك بهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك يا قوي يا متين. اللهم منزل الكتاب مجري السحاب هازم الأحزاب سريع الحساب اهزم اليهود.
Radio Al-Ansar, 24/7, 365.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramzani. Career Compass is where you at. It is exactly 25 minutes past 9 o'clock, and we are talking all things career related, but we're also talking about stress related matters today, especially for breadwinners. If you are a breadwinner at home and you're going through the most, what do you do? What have you done if you've overcome the situation? Share your thoughts on 060-904-1056. You never know who's listening and might need your advice. Messages. This message says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My darling Kelly, that I hear your special nasheed, your signature tune. Welcome. You're my special beauty. Love and du'as from Tahira. Tahira, jazakallah khair. Love you, love you, love you too. Another message says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Kelly, hope you are well. I'm suffering from anxiety, which has brought me from stressing over my health. My health has taken a downhill and for the past 2 months, but alhamdulillah, Allah is with me. My situation with anxiety and is quite different, but I need to overcome it, inshallah, from Nasreen. May Allah make it easy for you and grant you the ability to overcome your anxiety. But again, you're not alone. And today we are going to unpack some of the causes of anxiety, of stress, and how does one overcome it? How does one handle it? What is one to do? But first, we're going to quickly talk about degrees that are in demand locally and internationally. Now, we all know that IT is where it is happening. It's booming, okay? The IT industry is booming, and it's going to be so for the next God knows how long, because now we've got robotics, we've got AI experts, we've got, you name it, okay? We've got all that. So what is one to do? Programming is very important, because even though we will have flying cars and we'll have flying, I don't know, spoons and whatnot, somebody will need to program it to do that. Okay, so AI, how do I say this? AI goes hand in hand with robotics. Okay, you will need to understand the other to understand the other. That makes sense? Makes sense. So what can you become with an IT degree, or what is available within the IT industry? There's lots of opportunities available from the hectic stuff like cybersecurity and all those coding and programming and stuff to easy stuff like, SEO specialist. And I know some people might say, what? You think that's easy? I mean, because I'm learning it, so it looks like it easy. I'm not undermining anybody's work, okay? Don't worry. You can also become a web developer. Well, you might not need a degree, an IT degree per se. You can learn it on YouTube. I encourage people to learn things on YouTube because I learn a lot of things from YouTube. But there are also short courses available. But if you want to take it to a whole degree, you can do so. You can become a digital marketer. You can become a social media manager. You can do IT technician. You fix this stuff the hard way. I need to start learning how to use the correct jargon, before I misinterpret things. But anyways, the list is long, from network administrator to data analyst to cybersecurity analyst. You have the whole earth as your oyster. I don't know if that's true, but you could experiment it and let me know. All right, that is the degrees that are in demand locally and globally. Now, for degrees for skills that do not require a qualification, we spoke about videography, we spoke about makeup artist, so we spoke about being a chef, we spoke about so many things that sometimes I lose count. But for this week, we are going to be picking freelance writing. Now, this is something that I do have a bit of background experience on, and I can tell you that you don't need a degree for this, but you will need some sort of credential, you will need some sort of qualification, because you need to be good at grammar, and that is language. Okay, so you need to understand language to a certain extent. Okay, so that you are able to, if you're going to do a script editing, if you're going to do what is this, because I do lots of content. I produce content for my own show, for other people's show, not on this radio station, but other radio stations. I do lots of script editing as well. I do also freelance writing with regards to anything, the latest news or whatever it is, but I've lost interest in that for now. So I'm only focusing on voiceover acting rather. I used to do website writing as well, a blogger, but that too, again, my passion kind of just decreased a bit because of the writer's block that I experienced. But other than that, what I'm saying is your passion can earn you a source of income. It's possible. You just have to be comfortable exposing yourself. You have to put yourself out there that, hi, I'm Kelly and this is what I do. And this is what I'm good at. And you never know. Somebody somewhere might take a chance on you, and that could be the beginning of your beautiful journey. All right. Now, up next is the topic that we've all been waiting for. Anxiety. How do you deal with that? Depression, mental illness. If you are a breadwinner and you're going through it, I want you to come forward because we're opening up the lines on 060-904-1056. Share your story with us. We got a message saying, somebody was going through anxiety and this took a hold on their health as well as their moods and stuff like that. But so far, alhamdulillah, they believe that they will overcome it. You too can share with us your story. You let us know, how are you coping, what's going on, because most times we are always encouraging you, go after the bag. That's what we call it, the Gen Zs. Go after the bag, secure the bag, go after the money. Yes, do so, because you have to live a comfortable life if you can. Okay, and it's good for you to be able to work for what you want rather than to beg for it. But what is the truth behind the workload, the overburn, the deadlines? What is the truth? That is what we're going to unpack. Also, if you're an employer, you might want to listen, because we need you to start playing your role. Okay, we need you to start playing your role. Prioritize the mental health of your workers and see, maybe you learn a thing or two on how you could help. This is Career Compass with Kelly Ramzani, and we have in studio already the lovely couple that we've been waiting for. But first, let's take this.
The more I know you, you, one of a kind. Mercy to mankind, I cannot leave you. My heart beats for you. You're the guiding light from Allah the Most High. Your compassion permeates through the world every day. From Allah you came and better my way. Let the world know your name. Ya Muhammad, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Muhammad. Love you with all of my heart, Ya Muhammad, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Muhammad. Love you with all of my heart. Leader of all prophets, you're my beloved. My intercessor on the day of the hour. My master, Ya Muhammad, Ya Muhammad. Your words fill me, your light lead me. You're the reason I have faith, more reason I see grace. You're a light that bright, give life to the earth, bring us back truth and no way. Ya Rasulullah, Ya Muhammad. Love you with all of my heart, Ya Muhammad. Ya Rasulullah, Ya Muhammad. Love you with all of my heart. Habibullah, sallallahu alayka. Rasulullah, sallallahu alayka. Mercy to the world, sallallahu alayka. Light of the world, sallallahu alayka. Ya Muhammad.
We'd love to meet you. Pay us a visit. Radio Al Ansar.
Aman means safety.
The Aman School of Excellence in Finetown, South Africa, is securing the futures of underprivileged children by providing world-class education in a safe and nurturing environment. Sponsor a child for only 15,000 Rand per year or any amount. A quality education at Aman presents a pathway out of poverty and a brighter future for South Africa.
Africa Muslims Agency. Empowering, educating, inspiring.
Feel good food all day, every day. The Al Ansar Deli, here to tantalize your taste buds. Visit our sit-in deli and try our daily specials at 207 West Road, Overport. Open weekdays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., close on Sundays and public holidays. Call 031-208-1601. Al Ansar Deli, feel good food.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ادعوا إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة وموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن.
Invite all to the way of thy Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching, and reason with them in the ways that are best and most gracious. Join Shabir Pasha every Saturday 7 p.m. for Dawah Dynamic Show.
Black November is here with unbeatable savings from Simplex Radio.
Save 500 Rand on the Kenwood home mixer, now just 1799.
The D5 4.7-liter air fryer is only 799, saving you 400 Rand.
Philips irons starting at just 299 Rand.
Plus, save 300 Rand on the Midea 20-liter microwave, now only 799 Rand.
Don't wait. These incredible deals won't last long.
Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
As promised at last year's Durban Summer Cirque, part of our profits will go to making a real difference in our community. The Al Ansar Foundation proudly completed its first borehole for the community of Redcliffe. With water shortages affecting many, our mission is clear. Let's bring clean water to more areas in need. Join us in making an impact. Call Outreach on 031 208 1601 or visit alansar.org.za to help build more boreholes and transform lives.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
You've arrived at your destination. You're listening to Career Compass on Radio Al Ansar.
You've arrived at your dream destination. You are doing the job you love. You're so passionate about it, and you are earning the money and you are having the fun. But now the stress starts to kick in. Oof. Oh my God. Reality kicks in. And yes, you've got a family that relies upon you. What do you do? What do you do is what we're talking about. 0609041056. You let me know. What are your thoughts? If you went through the same thing, if you're going through the same thing, if you overcame it, what is one to do? Now in studio, like I told you, I'm not alone. I'm joined by a beautiful couple, mashallah, very well-known show that they have on Saturdays at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on the airwaves of Radio Al Ansar. That is Mr. Drumroll, please. Help me out here. Come on, you're supposed to laugh before I introduce you. Okay, Mr. Faizal, C. Joosab, and
Miss Joosab.
No, man, that didn't fit in. Let's start again.
Okay. Okay.
And
Miss Joosab.
Love it. Absolute pleasure.
Loving your energy too.
Jazakallah khair. Absolute pleasure having you join us
Thank you so
here
much for
on the
having us.
show. And I must say, I was mind blown by the fact that you two are so calm, yet you have been in this industry for more than 20 years.
Alhamdulillah.
Dealing with anxiety related issues on a daily basis. How do you remain calm when you're dealing with anxiety?
Two things.
Mm.
Spirituality has to be there.
Okay.
Everything is taqdeer, and you have to look it from a celestial point of view. You have to train yourself to understand that all you're going to do is be the needle. But Allah is the one that injects that kind of shifa into a person. Second thing is coping mechanisms. And there I have to be, again, spiritual about it because Allah has blessed me with an amazing, amazing, amazing partner.
MashaAllah.
She just takes away all my stress. When she smiles, it just like falls off me.
Ah.
Then he blessed me even further. He gave me two amazing, amazing kids that behave like monkeys, but
It's fine.
I
We can handle
can't.
it.
Yeah, I just look at them and I just behave like a monkey with them. So going into the inner child has made me cope all these years. Otherwise, recently, I mean, just a few days back, I met a friend of mine and he says, you know what, you're not looking very normal. What's happening? You're taking on too much of problems. I said, yeah, the workload has gotten very heavy. Alhamdulillah. But I didn't see my kids for that morning. That's why. So it's like they're my antidotes.
Oh, okay. MashaAllah. That's so beautiful because I've always wanted to know, does a person who counsel or a therapist, for example, do they need therapy?
Yes. You need a supervisor.
Okay.
You need somebody to go to and say, listen, did I do the right thing? Did I do the wrong thing? Did I do this, do that? Initially, you have a lot of self-doubt because you have to make a lot of decisions. A diagnosis is not an easy thing. It's an opinion based on what you know, on your expertise. So if a person comes in and says, listen, do you think I should be on medication? You have to do an assessment that's going to bring them into the light. And maybe they're over-medicating, maybe they're under-medicating, but you have to look at the situation. Now, we relationship experts, so we mainly focus on that. But anxiety is a part of relationship issues because a man comes home, he's sitting on his phone, he's got stress. Then she says, you're not talking to me. Why are you not talking to me? You're always on your phone. And he says, why don't you leave me alone? And then they start fighting. What did boil out? Because he didn't tell her, today my boss said to me, you're getting short time, or you know what, I'm going to cut your wages, you're not getting the promotion, and he's starting to worry now. So we deal with this on a daily basis, because why people get divorced is because they fight. And why do people fight? Is when they stress. And so as soon as I get my back up against the wall, if something irritated me, I realize same time, you know what, I'm stressed out. Breathe. And then talk. Don't argue.
What helps is a positive mindset.
Yeah.
Wow.
Positive mindset about your life.
That's where the spirituality comes.
Yeah.
Because
MashaAllah.
you have to connect with Allah. If you're not going to connect with Allah, you're not going to make it. You're going to end up on medication like everybody else. And medication is for the symptoms. It's not a cure. When you go to a psychiatrist, he says, take this for anxiety. Take this for your worry. Take the sedative to sleep at night. But how long are you going to be on it? You're going to turn into a cabbage after 6, 8, 10 years. And if you're not coping after 6 months, you need to find a cure. And you have to ask questions. Now, I love what you said about the passion part.
Yeah.
Now, when you're passionate about something,
yeah,
you have to have worry and stress because it's important to you.
It's important to you, exactly.
So, for what you said, I think it was brilliant because you have to follow your heart. If you want to be happy, you have to do something that Allah has blessed you with. So my entire family is in business, except for 2 of us. One amazing cousin of mine, he's a lawyer. He's an amazing human being. I think he has the heart and the brain of a Superman because he's just amazing. He's just brilliant. And myself, who also didn't follow that path. But we found our calling, right? But you have to love what you do. You'll be good at it. And then obviously, Gen Z said the bag. Where we came from, it was show me the moolah. Show me the money.
That's the driving force. Now, speaking about money, we all want to do what we love, like you said. You know, we want to work. And as much as we want to do it for passion, at the end of the day, it has to pay us something, right? So here you are, the mullah is there, but the stress, the workload kicks in, and you find yourself that not only are you now experiencing a burnout, you're also surrounded with individuals or colleagues that you cannot rely on because it's a toxic work environment. How does one survive in that setting, and how does work environment that is toxic affect one's productivity?
Firstly, you know, a toxic environment is a test from Allah. And you're going to be in a situation where your mettle, your character is going to be tested. So, Bisbah, what do you think? I mean, like the
Lord
toxic
Allah
environment.
has sent us, and He has made a system where we go and we earn. And for that reason, we're going to have issues in making whatever risk that has been written for us. But if we're going to go to a workplace, there will be some issues. I don't think so there's anybody who will say, okay, I made like you yourself
100% perfect or
yeah, it was
peace or
perfect. Yeah. So we're gonna have to have some issues. We need to have this mindset. We can't have entitlement that today I'm gonna go and everybody is gonna work according to me.
to my rules, my way or the highway.
My way or the highway. No, it's not gonna work. So first you need to have this perception, not to let the negativity set into you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you need to allow yourself to understand that, you know what, when I'm going to go today, things might not happen
the way
as
I
we
want.
decided. So you're not very frustrated. The mental, as I said, how your mindset is.
Yeah.
Mindset about the
So
situation.
if I can take a leaf out of your book, right? Now, again, we're drifting back to relationships. Isn't woman very well equipped for that? You get married into families you don't know, and obviously there's going to be some hostility. Oh, he's my brother. Before he became
that
your
is
husband.
sometimes more toxic than
But
the work
how you-
environment.
So y'all are practically
and women are
groomed.
working there.
You're practically groomed for it.
Yes.
I mean, y'all know exactly how to survive in a toxic environment because your husband loves you and your mother-in-law has reservations because you don't feed him well. But look, you've come with your own recipes and he needs to adapt. You don't adapt, you don't succeed. So now you want to give him pasta and mommy always gave him curry and rice, right? It doesn't work like that. But y'all know how to survive. So I believe us men, if we make mashwara with our wives, with the ladies, and this was the sunnah of Rasulullah, we learn how to survive. Like let's say a man came home and said, you know what, my colleague is driving me insane. He talks the whole day. He's like, he's like a worm in my head. Then she'll say, yeah, but now you must understand now he's got problems. He's like this and that. She'll calm you down. Now, as far as the toxic environment is concerned, you have to ask yourself how badly you need the job. And today, nowadays, we need the job. So you have to now say, I'm going in, I'm going to punch my card for 8 hours, and I'm going to come out and leave that acid and whatever that is there at work. When I come home, I'm going to smile and I'm going to take a shower and wash all that toxicity off me. and I'm going to be with my wife. That's what the first thing I think every man should do is when he comes home, he should hug his spouse. He should hug his wife and say, you know what? I'm safe.
I'm safe now. I had a long day, but I'm just going to add something there
Gee.
to what you mentioned. The hug is really therapeutic. They say more than 15 seconds. But how often or how long is one going to ignore the toxicity that they're facing simply because they choose the peace over what is happening? I know I came across a thing called is it fake positivity or negative positivity, something like that. I forgot the terminology for it, the correct terminology for it, but it's like every time you go through something, you fail to express or channel your emotions by saying, oh, it could have been worse. You just ignore it.
No, that's actually an Islamic fundamental where we start being positive. Now in the Quran, Allah Pak says, be grateful unto me and I will increase. So what we do is, it could have been much worse. I mean, my boss could have shouted me for 15 minutes. He just embarrassed me for 5 minutes. And never mind, he had a bad day. When you make sabr and you pull through. So as Muslims, this is what we did. Remember, Rasulullah spent 13 years in Makkah. And he was exposed to the worst kind of cruelty. So yeah, we have to be strong and say, listen, there's a test from Allah Pak. Look, it's not so bad. What if I didn't have a job? This is a good coping mechanism. Now, it might be fake positivity, but you will be rewarded for it because you know what? Your boss is going to, sometimes, in fact, a lot of the times, the bosses do check if you can handle the metal.
Oh, so they put us through it purposely.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, currently, I think our manager. He's a very hands-on man, and he's a very nice, very accommodating person, Kelly, right? But we've had managers in the past, and you weren't around that time, where they would push and to see if you crack, because they need to know if you are dependable. They know if they can count on you, and we never cracked. If they needed us at 10 o'clock at night to do a show, Mispa and me in Ramadan were here at 10 o'clock, and we finished to 1:30 in Ramadan. So that's what that time, I'm just talking about this environment, right? Where they saw that, so sometimes the bosses push the toxic environment, but you know what? You're never going to know how strong you are until
you challenge yourself.
Exactly. You never know how strong a stick is until you try to break it. So there has to be a temperance as well, because sometimes it's abuse. Now here, what you're talking is not toxic. You're talking about plain down where a person now is venting on your boss comes, he had a problem with his wife and he's swearing you in the office. Now that's not condonable. Now, if he says, listen, I'm not happy with your performance, you like this, you like that, and everybody starts laughing at you because, why, you caught it from the boss, that's fine. You can review it with him later. But if he is venting on you, then that's not toxic, that's abusive. And then you need now to speak to somebody else in HR. You need to say, listen, I know he's my superior, but can you please have a word with him? Because what was on was verbal abuse.
Yeah.
Because as Muslims, we're also supposed to stand up to when we are oppressed.
Yes.
Because tolerating zulm is not on. Now, what I'm saying is, I don't say swear him back and all of that. Please don't. But we have to stand up to zulm in a sense where we have to tell him, see, you're losing yourself here. You're bringing your anxiety, because see, anxiety comes from home as well. Now, let's say now the home environment is not good, and then we can write the book on that. So you bring your stress. So we take our work stress home. We bring our work stress to. So it works vice versa. So he comes now and he's made this place toxic. Why won't a person enjoy work? He gets away from his wife. He doesn't have to listen to her complaining. Now, this is men talking now. That's not me talking. This is men talking. He should be so happy at work with his friends, buying them lunch, enjoying lunch with them, enjoying. For 8 hours, he's away, but he sits there brooding and upset. He brought his work stress because he can't wait now to go home. And if she phones him, what you phoning me for? I don't want to talk to you. So, unfortunately, we do bring a lot of toxicity in our work environment as well. It's not so simple as where the boss, the colleague, the superior only picks on us, or everybody's arguing and fighting, like, it's like they're going to snatch each other's risk away. But it's something we also bring. And I think we have to start with ourselves. I don't know, Kelly, what you think?
So we should be holding ourselves accountable?
I think so.
Also, a lot of toxicity in the environment in your workplace comes with competition as well. Maybe you making more money than me. That's a mindset.
Jealousy.
Yeah. Or maybe you came in within 3 months and you're getting a promotion because of how good you are in work.
I mean, I would question that too, to be honest.
And we need to talk about hadiths, Some people are more handsome than us. We wish you were like him.
I see a message here that says, Assalamu alaikum, Kelly, can you please advise on my situation? My pressure, sugar, and cholesterol is my health issue. Now that I check my pressure, it's slightly high, then I get panicky and it goes more high.
Mhm.
So, and then everything else goes high. How can I control this type due to my anxiety?
Exercise. It's a sunnah. Rasulullah Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has told us that, we need to walk briskly. And it is a proven fact that if you walk for 20 minutes, you will actually give your body the therapy, the medication that it desperately needs. So currently, whatever medication you're on, don't increase the dosage. Start relaxing yourself, because it's a fact. If you exercise, right, you go for a walk or just do some stretches, naturally dopamine will set into your system, serotonin, oxytocin. These are very important things to relax your mind, get your mind off things. You'll be amazed how you'll stop stressing about why he's fighting with me and why my children don't listen to me. You'll just start relaxing. So your pressure will decrease, your sugar will normalize, your medication will actually start working. So to counter stress and anxiety, the one proven way to control the symptoms is exercise.
A lot of work environment demands a lot of people to sit all day, 9 to 5 maybe. They're sitting, and that's sometimes as unhealthy. It can affect your physical health.
Because that's the amazing thing nowadays. I mean, Kelly, mashallah, you brought a very important topic forward, because people don't talk about this. We have gyms. People go to gym and work out, and they feel like $1 million when they come out, right? And I see the guys at Atrium and all, when they come out from Discovery, they're feeling good and they're smiling when they get in the elevator. And I'm looking at them and saying, yeah, one day I'll get there as well.
What's
Wow,
stopping you though?
You look buffed. I have a family, dear.
Oh wow,
Okay.
they have families too. But
I have muscles on my hands because I'm a hands-on dad. Right?
The message says Jazakallah khair so much. I have to ask you this question, because that's the topic that we have today. But I see that time is not on our side. Maybe we'll continue with this topic some other time. You up for it?
I'm up for it.
Okay, perfect. Now, for one that is struggling with mental illness, they're probably going through anxiety or depression or whatever it is, but they're going through the most, okay? And they their family rather, relies on them for this income or this job that they have. But now you have to prioritize your mental health, because this is your first priority. This is the reason why you are here, providing for your family. But at the same time, you need this job. What is one to do?
For people with mental health conditions, decent work can contribute to recovery, inclusion, and improve their confidence and self-functioning. It means if their work environment, we talk about only work and career, that environment is something that you're not very affected by, and they have mental health, I think they can cope.
Yeah, it'll release a lot of the pressure. But essentially, they have to utilize their medical aid. And they have to get to the GP, they have to get it, because when we ignore the problem, it's only going to get worse. You have a mental health issue, your medication might not be helping, might need to be upgraded, dosage need to be interviewed. You have to go see the professionals, and you have to seek out counseling. I mean, if counseling is in the Quran, Surah Asr speaks about counseling, and counsel one another towards truth and perseverance. You have to go out there and find. Unfortunately, our families don't have that skill set anymore where they can say, don't worry, it'll be fine. Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Everybody says, oh, you're acting like a baby. Stop acting like a child. You're a grown up now. Act like a man. Come on, I brought you up. So
I
they
think
have to
the
reach
person
out.
comes home with their husband or wife, and they come home and they say, okay, I have that stress, and I don't think so, I want to work. Whether it's parents at home, or whether it's siblings, or whether it's your spouse, they get worried that if this person is not going to work, how
are we going to survive? Yes.
Yeah.
How are we going to live? Because the
It's a lot
cost
of
of living
pressure.
is very
And that
high.
is not the help that the person was looking for that moment.
Yes, they wanted to be, heard or feel seen at that moment. Like, it's okay, whatever you're going
And
through. We'll
sometimes,
survive.
in some cases, it does work out. If you're not happy with your work situation and you start your own business, it takes time.
It takes time to pick
but
up.
it works out.
I have a friend like that. His name is Ahmad. He used to do a very pressurized job. He used to
We're
sell.
not supposed to be mentioning names.
He's fine.
He'll be very happy.
If you mention his surname or
No,
his nickname.
we're not talking about his work, his work company.
So he used to do a very pressurized job.
Yeah.
And he was always sweating all the time because he used to sell something. I won't say what, right? But he used to sell something. He used to go shop to shop. Then his wife discovered home industry, and she was excellent at biscuit making and all of that. And he left.
Oh, very nice sweets.
Yeah, and he left what he was doing and he joined her. And her business multiplied tenfold.
MashaAllah, wow.
So when he joined his wife, so now when I see him, he's not sweating, he's stressed out because she's going to phone him and scold him. So he's replaced a different stress.
A different boss. But speaking about workload and stress, I know somebody who is doing quite incredible work in the community, and this is something that they're passionate about, but this passion has somehow overpowered this person to a point where they lost hair. They are now losing teeth. Okay. And they got the first tooth removed, the second tooth removed. The doctor said, oh, hold on. What is going on in your gums and all that stuff is not normal. And this is due to extreme amount of stress. And I wanted us to touch on that, but I think time is not on our side. Can sometimes our passion also be our downfall?
Yes, because we don't know how to balance it. Look, I'm also a victim of that because I started this work almost 2 decades back thinking I want to save the world. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Allah is responsible for everybody. I just have to do my part.
Yeah.
But there has to be a balance. Even
Yeah.
this morning, I was speaking to my son and I said to him, do you miss me? He says, yeah, Dad, you work very hard. And trust me, I'm working half of what I used to work. But still, there's room for improvement. So I think self-care has to be where if we're going to fall down, then there's thousands of people relying upon me. So this person has to now balance it out and take care of himself, because must remember, you can do your best if you feel the best.
If you feel the best. That is profound. Very, very powerful words you just said there. Now, quickly, for those that are managers, supervisors, managing directors, chairperson, all the upper management listening right now, and they're thinking, okay, what do we do as an organization?
Employ a counselor. Please get somebody in-house.
Yeah.
So when you see somebody who's sitting at their desk and moping, you walk over and say, listen, what's up? Assalamu alaikum. How are you? You're right. Yeah, boss, I'm okay. Got something on your mind? And they say, no, I'm fine. So listen, my door is open, but listen, let me get the guy to talk to you.
Yeah.
And let's just see what we can see.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's all confidential. Nobody will know about it. The in-house counselor is there. You go and see him for a few minutes and tell him, listen, you know what, I had a big spat with my wife this morning. Or, you know what, I'm running short of cash. I didn't pay the school fees. Something just might be eating. Why this is necessary? Because productivity. You want barakah in your business. The most important commodity is human beings. Allah Pak loves us. Why? We are human. Now here, if your person picks up the phone and needs to sell the car, he needs to feel like $1 million because he's going to convince it. He's going to put money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Please do some investment in that, because we're not coping and we need coping mechanisms. So guys out there, please get some professional help to help you in managing the most important commodity in your business, your staff.
Wow.
I don't think so right now we have time, but there are a lot of factors that leads to risk to mental health at work. And that has to be addressed as well. Yeah.
So these guys need to come to the party, because it's not about making money. It's about making sure you make money. So keep the vibe strong. And remember, it's not how much you have, it's quality, not quantity. There needs to be barakah. My boss always is there for me. It's not about lending him money. Caring and having empathy for him. Listen, what's happening with you? Come, let me go take you here. Listen, doc, talk to him, sort something out here. They'll give him coping mechanisms to calm things down, and you'll see your company, they won't leave you. They'll want to stay with you, because he's like a father figure to me. Where do you get people saying that anymore? That my boss is like a father figure. Those days are gone now.
Those days are gone. And
to show moral support.
Absolutely. And you wrapped it up very nicely. Your staff are your biggest investment, your assets. So invest in them. If you can, get a therapy, get a counselor or somebody in-house to deal with those issues. Because sometimes they might lie to you because you're the boss. They're scared. They don't want to upset you.
I won't lie. A lot of bosses have sent their clients my way. I remember the first person, maybe like 15 years ago, was actually Sony. Sony sent one of their clients. He was a Swedish guy, but he was so close to one of his staff members. He actually sent her.
Wow.
He sent her.
So there you have it.
If you retired.
If you're looking for somebody to speak to, we've got you. We've got you right here. And that's the show coming up next. So you can definitely speak to us about the issues that affect you most and affect your productivity. It was an absolute pleasure. We shall do it again Saturday. Jazakallah khair so much for honoring the invite, for being in studio. You guys are definitely part of the crew now, so you'll never decline. Okay?
Inshallah.
Jazakallah khair so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Asif. Thank you, everybody. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. Taking advantage of technology. That's it. Shalom and leave you. Find your purpose and leave your mark. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
An informative Islamic global perspective. This is Al Ansar News.
Making news at 10, the South African Democratic Teachers Union has asked President Cyril Ramaphosa to intervene on the issue of safety and security at schools in KwaZulu-Natal. Good morning.